Hello everyone and welcome to Christensen Astrology with me, Victoria. I'm so happy to have you with me. I thought today I wanted to check in and take a look at this incoming solar eclipse that we have. It will appear on August the 12th, 2026, and I set it to Paris time, so obviously you just set your own local standard time, but here it's gonna happen at 7:35, 7:37 approximately, at 20 degrees in Leo. The first thing to pay attention to catches the eye, as you can see, is that there's a really big emphasis on fire elements over here. So we can see the south node in Leo, we also have Jupiter and we have Mercury, and obviously we have the moon and the sun in Leo as well. So there's a tremendous amount of fire energy. And just to put out an idea of, because people always ask me, yeah, but there's eclipse season all the time, what does it do? The most important thing is to understand that eclipses are portals. It's kind of an energy that strongly opens a new chapter, and that chapter is energetically imprinted from where the planetary positions are at the time of the solar eclipse. And to understand where this might affect you on a personal level, well, look at the house or the place where you might have something around 20 degrees of Leo in your natal chart. So around 19, 20, 21 would be significant. And I would also say that sometimes you can go up to a window, because it is eclipse energy, which is very strong, where you can say even up to 5 degrees orbs on any side of it would highly activate your personal chart. And a typical question I always get is that, yeah, but what if I don't have, if I don't have this or that in that exact degree, how will it affect me personally? Well, always look to if you have any of the opposites. For instance, if you have Aquarius in regards to this eclipse, there might be some high activations as well. But that I will make another video on more personally for each of the rising signs. I just wanted to give you an overview for now on what this eclipse is about. First and foremost, the first message that comes to me looking at this chart is just this question of, why are you still playing it small? Why are you still playing it safe? In which areas of your life do you need to stop taking the safe road and start to change it to a courageous path, a path that is aligned with your heart? Because Leo is really all about courage. And Leo often get the rep of being, the one liking to be on stage, but that's only half of the story. This is about, authentic self-expression. It's about the leadership you have over, your own destiny. It's about the creativity, and you don't have to be an artist in order to be creative. We all have creative traits in us. It's just a matter of how we are using it. And Leo is really highly activating that part of us and asking us to become more of this element. The other thing you can see is that one of the strongest signatures in this chart is that we have Mercury at 5 degrees moving towards Jupiter at 9 degrees in Leo. So there's a conjunction here. There's a connection between Jupiter and Mercury. And I like to pay attention to the mythology behind Mercury and Jupiter. So if we take a look at Mercury, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. I always say, looking at Mercury in the sky, what message is he bringing to us here on Earth? So Mercury is known to be, the messenger of souls who can descend down to Earth, sometimes taking a bit of a trickster form to communicate with humans, but also able to descend all the way down to Hades in the underworld and transport souls down there. So there is a connection for us here on Earth astrologically to Mercury. When Mercury is in the sign of Leo, he brings the messages of communication from the heart, knowing from the heart. I've been talking a lot about heart energy recently, and there's a reason for that. Our hearts holds this electromagnetic field, and it's so important. It has a wisdom that we don't have with our mental mind in the same way. And Mercury is telling us pay attention to this. And his message is being expanded in conjunction with Jupiter. So it's also this language of you will have a great deal of luck when you go with your natural joy, creativity, what makes your heart sing at this moment in time. Because eclipses are portals, so we have to remember that these energies are being expelled and is propelling us into a different reality, so to speak, when we are ready for it. And then I also want to pay attention to that we have Pluto in retrograde at this moment at 3 degrees in opposition over there to Mercury, if you look at the chart. And that's also, this communication again about what do you need to let go of, because every time we act in a new way, we have to also let go of past versions of ourselves that this was not naturally for them to do. And that's sort of like the bittersweetness of life as well, right? So we get something, we need to let go of something else. And that could be a theme as well for this eclipse, that you don't get to have the activations of your heart if you still hold on to definitions of your mind. And that's also why you might feel certain fears are being highly activated at this moment with Pluto and Mercury. There might be a fear of visibility, a fear of speaking up, a fear of using your voice to where you feel it's authentic to be used. That's super important. It could also even be the fear of success, the fear of standing in your full shining power and courage that Leo so beautifully represents as well. Another beautiful part of this chart, if you take a look here, you can see that Venus is in Libra. So Venus is forming some harmonious aspects with both Uranus and Pluto, which will be very supportive for meaningful relationships, the ones that we have closest to us, romantic connections, new connections that you wish to be part of and invite into your life. And even the kind of new connections where you think, wow, they represent the person that I'm becoming instead of the person that I'm trying to, break out of. It's almost like you're in the middle of this huge change. And on one side, you have this choice between repeating, and then you have the choice between jumping into the unknown. And that's just always so difficult for us as humans, right? And it's an ongoing chapter for all of us to learn how to balance that. But I would say whenever we have, for instance, eclipses, depending on the signs that it's happening in, it comes with a different flair. So this is very much a good time for finding the right teacher, finding the right collaborators, or even finding great romantic partners during this time of eclipse season, because you will be able to pick the people from your heart, from the direction in which you're going. And it's just so interesting because with all this craziness of the 2026 astrological year, I still have this feeling that this is such a transition year for many of us. We are going with the bumps on the road, and we are rethinking our direction over and over again, because we have so many challenges and obstacles and things coming to the surface, and our dreams are truly being stirred up, and we're being asked over and over again, do you really want this? Is this really worth fighting for? And if the answer is yes, you better go for it, right? So we are really being shaken on the ground that we stand on and being asked over and over again, is this true? Does this matter? Is this right for the heart? So it really seems like the universe is communicating with us constantly. And also, just to let you know in this short introduction to the eclipse, that this story will unfold over the next couple of 6 months. So setting clear intentions, being very heartfelt in knowing what it is that you truly want around this eclipse season is highly recommended. And it's also really, really highly recommended that if you have the budget to it, go and get your own birth chart done. Take a really solid look at what's possible for me to open in this portal, because those are some of the strong activations where a birth chart reading with a specific focus can be really valuable for you and can work as, personal development. I always say this. It's really important for us to learn how to align with the stars as well. That's what I have for you today, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I catch you in another video. Bye for now.